Hello and welcome to the Build with Bear Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote, and the Tier 2 blue emote. Ristafan, speaking of which, is a Tier 2 subscriber throwing in the blue emotes. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Also, put those emotes in the chat to welcome Ristafan for their Tier 2 subscription. And they have been a subscriber for 49 months. So we're going to hit the old applause there. Thank you very much, Aristofan, for your continued support. Appreciate it very much. Thanks for being a Tier 2 subscriber and using that blue emote. Lashbrook is here. Lord Crashens here saying, hey, Pat. Hey to you. Welcome, everybody. Tonight's agenda, the Zedas. We are going to continue working on it. We've done the chest. We're going to work on the head next. Well, actually, there's a little bit. Did I do all that? Yes, no, I did all of the chest. So now we're going to move down to the head, and then we're going to move on to working on the shoulders and the arms, which is cool. So we'll get all that done, and I think we might move on to the legs. Lord Crashton mentions, I saw Ian will be visiting South Carolina soon enough. Yes. We are planning for the possibility of a hurricane hitting South Carolina in our area this weekend. As of right now, all streams are going forward because if I have power, I'm going to stream. If I don't have power, I won't stream. I'm not going to run a stream off of our generator. We're going to run the refrigerator and the toaster oven. And then also, I got plenty of charcoal, so we can always grill if necessary. But yeah, the generator will not be used for this. Because then also I would have to run everything, the internet, and then I would also have to hotspot my phone to the computer because I don't think that I don't think that they would work. I don't think our internet cable would be working either if power went out completely. Don't quote me on that. But I don't plan to run my stream off a generator, just so you know. Or stream off my phone, just me hanging out. I also don't plan on doing that. So I will keep everyone updated, but assume that my streams tomorrow, Thursday, and Saturday will go on as planned. Tomorrow night stream, Pokemon Platinum Randomizer. Haven't done that in months because of various reasons. I have not done that stream in a while. I don't remember where we are. I don't remember what my team is like. I don't remember any of it. It's going to be fun to get back into it. I'm going to have to load it up tomorrow to make sure it works. But yeah, the plan is tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Pokemon Platinum Randomizer. It'll be fun to get back into it. Thursday, model kit building, finishing this kit up because I don't think we'll finish it tonight. And then starting the Gun Diver, the Gundam Marine type Gun Diver, which won my Patreon poll of what I should be building next. So we're building a Gun Diver, originally released in 2016, and then early this year, put back up for Premium Bandai, and it was available in this country, so I could order it. So that'll be the next thing we build. I thought for sure that the God Gundam would win the poll, but no. It didn't, and it's fine that it didn't, but I would like to build the God Gundam, which did arrive in the mail today after many delays. A delay in the post office, but also 2 delays of it actually coming out in the United States. It got delayed twice, so I finally have it. I'm very happy to have that model kit. I want to build that real great God Gundam. What with me building the master grade of that is the first kit I built on this stream. So, or maybe it was a Gundam X. I actually forgot again. I love that, that I keep forgetting what was the first kit I built on the stream. If it wasn't the first kit I built on the stream, it was one of the first. And now we get to find out, because now I get to go, before we get building here, I must discover. So I have to go and find my playlist. I gotta find, it's so silly that I can't remember the very first thing that I built on stream, but I can't. We've got to pause this video, let it load, gotta let it load, and then pause it, and then scroll all the way down to video 1. Whoop. Where is... Why don't I have that? I have Bill Workshop, for some reason, is not in this playlist. It's supposed to be 1 to 200, and it's not. So now I have to look up the name, Bill with Baer. This is frustrating to me. I am frustrated with myself right now. That for some reason it's not in the playlist it's supposed to be in. So now I gotta go and type in, whoops, and then audio from episode 200 plays for no reason. That's fun. Okay, so build with Baer number 1. Now I'll get every incarnation. YouTube special number 1. Number 1. Okay. What kit is this? I'm gonna pause the audio. Take a look at what I'm building. Hey, guess what? It's the God Gundam. The first kit I ever built on stream is indeed the God Gundam. I wasn't wrong. That's fun. The God Gundam Master Grade is the very first one that I ever built on stream. The question has been answered. So that's fun. So that's going to be neat. Going back to that kit after many years of not building a God Gundam. Of course, we have built. It could have been the Shining Gundam. What? Weren't you keeping a spreadsheet at some point? So my spreadsheet that I had at one point was let me see if I can reopen close tab and if it's going to load that video up again. Yeah. That was about like what kits I was mailing out to people because people could win stuff that I had built. Now I have to look at this. Is this the God Gundam or is this the Shining Gundam? We're gonna hear you're not gonna hear this. I'm muting you. I'm gonna hear it. You're not gonna hear it. I'm muting your audio so you don't hear me listen to myself talk. Okay, let's see. I think I'm about to say. Okay, I'm about to say what it is. I'm about to say. Okay, show it to me. Yes, okay, now tell me what it is. Okay, it was the Shining Gundam. Hooray, everybody. It was the Shining Gundam. The very first Gundam I built was the Shining Gundam. It wasn't even the God Gundam. It was the Shining Gundam. That was, we like to call that in the biz, a waste of everyone's time. All right, I'm going to reply to my own tweet, see if we can get a few more friends joining us tonight, because we're a little light here. Everyone's watching Monday Night Football, I guess, or preparing for various weather incidents, or terrified by the fact that the first thing we'll talk about once we get into going, that NASA did a thing, which is cool, but does sound kind of frightening if you pause to think about it for too long, in which case... we sent a spacecraft into an asteroid, which apparently was us figuring out if we could do that. It wasn't like, according to NASA, it wasn't like that Dimorphos, which is the size of a football stadium, it wasn't like it was on like a crash course with Earth and we were like, fuck, we gotta take care of business. Apparently, that was not the case. Apparently, the case was, hey, we're probably going to need to do that at some point. We should figure out how to send a spacecraft the size of a vending machine and figure out if we can do that so we don't have to find out if we can do it when it is a serious situation. That is what NASA is saying. Now, is that true? I don't know. Lord Crashing wants me to hit the dance button, which I will. Thank you for using your channel points for this. Do. 28, so we're going to find piece 28. There it is. Wow. So yeah. Almost done with the song. You're right, Lord Crashington. We are towards the end of September, if you can believe it. It's almost October. it's almost time for spooky season. The spooky season is almost upon us, which is very fun. And as always, we love that around here. My October plans involve a costume that is very small and easy for me to put on and will not affect the stream in any way, which is what I'm looking for in a costume. Small little costume pieces that I think are neat. I will be streaming on Halloween because Halloween is a Monday. Who says it left, says Ghost Valve. Nice, Ghost Valve. You're not wrong. We have to apply a sticker here to this. Got to put a sticker on this thing. I think it's, yeah, like that. Let's see. We got to figure out how this sticker goes because it is the face sticker here. So give me a moment to figure out how this goes because this goes in like... These instructions are both very small and 100% in Japanese. So I can do my best. And that's all I can do is my best when it comes to figuring out what they want me to do with this kit. We got to put a green sticker on here. Oh, okay. So these two pieces are going to pop together. Before they pop together, we have to put the sticker on. I didn't do it fully because I wanted to get a sense of what they wanted. But basically, I'm going to put the sticker along here, and there's going to be a real hint of the eyes. So we got to do that now. And this is the last sticker of the kit. This kit only comes with 3 stickers. We applied 2 of them so far, which is great. Anyway, my Halloween plans are, we'll stream on Halloween. On the night, I have this, my buddy Adam, who sent me that all the Lego that we built here not too long ago, like the 3 kits. He also sent this weird, like, it's not paper craft because it's like plastic craft, but I think calling it paper craft is fine, but like it's that kind of thing of a skeleton, like a dinosaur skeleton, and that feels Halloween-y. I mean, it's it's bones. It's bones of a creature that's not alive anymore. So I figured that would be a silly thing to build on Halloween. Now, last year, we did Bowser. We did a Bowser jack-o'-lantern. I carved a pumpkin on stream. I've previously done freehand, but this time I did use a pattern, which was fun. And I will be doing another Halloween pattern that will be video game or anime or something themed. I will be doing another stencil pumpkin carving thing. I have to do it closer to Halloween because last year I think I did it like in the middle of the month, which was fun to get into the spirit, but it meant that pumpkin, the previous year I did it like on Halloween, and that's not fun. And then last year I overcompensated and did it too soon, and then I ended up with a pumpkin that was carved a lot and was just rotting, and it basically decomposed before actual Halloween. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to pumpkin carve. I have to buy here's the thing. I got to buy a pumpkin and then leave it in a cool place in the house. But I got to buy it early enough so I get a good pumpkin for carving, and I don't have to like get something that's too big for the table or too small or like just doesn't work. I don't want that. All right, so yeah, I applied this big sticker. We'll just let you look at this here. I applied a very large sticker here, and then it ended up being very small. So it's just the eyes here, but it goes all the way around. So yeah, large sticker, small application, but it does look cool. So we'll go, whoops. The wrong way. Too much, too far. We'll just do it like that. Great. So yeah, now we have now applied the last sticker that we have for this kit, which is awesome. So we don't need this X-Acto blade for the rest of the thing. Okay, so October 31st is a Monday. As I said, we will be building that plastic craft kit of the dinosaur skeleton because that seems like a fun thing to do. So why not do that? All right, so on A40 and A39. We'll get that going here. And then pumpkin carving. So I might pumpkin carve on the 29th, or I might do it on the 27th. I think the 27th, which is a Thursday, is the day to do it. I think the 27th will allow me to have that pumpkin out all weekend. It'll be out for the jack-o'-lantern, I should say. It'll be out for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. And I think that's good. That gives it just enough time, because even if it's unseasonably warm, it won't be too much. So I think I'm going to do that on the 27th. And that'll be my pumpkin carving stream. And you are, of course, all invited to participate and hang out, talk about your pumpkin carving exploits and all of that. That's always fun. It's always interesting when I do those streams because there's always somebody in the stream every year, because I think this is like the 4th time I've done it. Oh, this will be the 4th or, yeah, because I've done pumpkin carving every year that I've been a streamer. So, yeah, there's always somebody just being like, I've never carved a pumpkin. We didn't do that in my house. We painted, or we didn't do any of it. Or I lived in an apartment. We never had trick-or-treaters. And it's just like, I have to remind myself that, like, yeah, like, people don't do it. And definitely there have been years where it's somebody's like, my kids and I are watching, and we're now, hey, we got raided by Bad Gunpla with a party of 14. Welcome, Raiders. I hope you're all doing well. If I remember correctly, was tonight a big boy season? Were we working on a big model kit? I don't remember the exact model kit that Jason was working on. My apologies. But I do remember something about working on a big old kit. And I hope you had a good time with that. I hope everyone's doing well out there. We're working on the Zedas from Gundam Age. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Pat, that's a weird Gundam to build, and you're not wrong. It's not even a Gundam. It's a mobile suit. He's working on the Faz Verka. Okay, there you go. That's pretty big. This is an odd mobile suit to build, but it was purchased off my Amazon wish list by somebody in my community that apparently wanted to see me build this kit. And who am I to say no to that? Am I doing this part right? It doesn't... I don't know. We'll get this together. And your throat died. I understand. That happens, unfortunately. We are doing this right. Okay, that looks good. Great. This kit is from 2011. Gonna drink all the tea. Have fun with the stream. Well, thank you very much. And thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. I'm Pat Baer. I guess I should do this properly. I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits and Lego sets. I talk about anime and video games and wrestling and pop culture stuff. We have a nice little community of people here. I have participated in the Planmo Weekender that Jason organizes. I'm very happy to be part of that. And I'm happy you're here. I hope you have a good time. We only started not too long ago. I started like at 9, but we really didn't start building till about, 10 minutes ago. So we did all of this on our last stream here. For our big bad. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. But yeah, I build model kits and hang out. We got a nice little group of folks here. It's a fun little community. I don't work on... Jason and I don't have a big overlap. We have an overlap on like the big thing that people want to talk about. Like, I'm going to be building the God Gundam soon. The real grade for the God Gundam. Because I purchased that. And I have that. I'm not building that next, apparently, because my patrons voted that I build the Marine type Gundiver kit, which does look cool. Don't get me wrong, because it's like an old school Gundam it's got orange in the color scheme and blue. It's an odd mobile suit, or that's a regular old Gundam there. But yeah, we build a lot of the like, hey, here's the big kit that people are talking about, that everyone's excited about. But then I build weird kits that came out when I wasn't model kit building, and Jason buys nightmare kits because part of the fun of Bad Gunpla is building Bad Gunpla. I don't buy Bad Gunpla because then I would have to build Bad Gunpla, and that's not my style. That is where the two of us differ, which is great. Because there's so many different kinds of model kit building people, the makers and crafters out there. There are people that would freak out by the fact that I am just using one pair of cutters, that I am not using multiple cutters, that I am not using my X-Acto blade, that I am not filing things down. But for me, this is a high grade from the year 2011, and it's totally okay that I am not being particularly like super duper precious with it, Because it's just like, I don't know. It costs $20-something on Amazon for someone to buy this. And I'm thrilled that they did. It's an anonymous person. That's why I'm not giving them a shout out, because I don't know who bought it. But somebody anonymously bought this off my Amazon wish list. And I'm like, well, the least I can do is make sure it gets built. But yeah, I'm not the most precious when it comes to kits. You know, I like the panel line, but I do the quick and dirty method. I don't really file too much. I don't really overly commit on kits. This is a little more casual than some other streamers, certainly. But you know, everybody's a little different out there, and that is the nice thing about model kit building. We were earlier talking about the fact that our country here in the United States, that NASA did fire a spacecraft the size of a vending machine, their description, into an asteroid that did nothing wrong. It was more of a test if we could, I guess, not to prevent the asteroid from hitting the Earth. So I guess cool that we can do that, but also weird that we did that. And that's the head. The head is now done here. And our stickers are done, which is great. And then gotta go like that. Great. Heads on. If you're unfamiliar with this model kit, this mobile suit here, I think we can probably zoom in a little bit maybe. If you're unfamiliar with this mobile suit and you're like, Pat, why does it have this pointy thing in its chest? Well, that's because it has a flight mode. And also because it's the evil mobile suit at the end of the series. This is the secret evil mobile suit. So it's got to look both very goofy and pretty cool. And also it has a transformation of a flight mode. So it can't look incredible because very few flight modes ever look good in Gundam, unfortunately. There are a couple that don't look bad. Like the Kyrios, because a lot of the cockpit is just the backpack on it, doesn't look the worst. But the one mobile suit they could have made cool, where they tried to solve the problem of what do you do? Where do the legs go? What do you do with the legs? How do you make the legs not look just like they folded up underneath? Which is, of course, the Epion, which is like the legs are the heads. It's twin dragon heads. And it kind of works. It's not as successful as it should have been. But it didn't do a terrible job. It just didn't do a great job. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, most transformations of mobile suits, I'm like, I mean, okay, you tried. They look cool in the anime because the anime can just omit parts if it needs to. All right, 3 and 4, got it here. Great. Other things that are going on here. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about this. I want to give a shout out to friend of the stream, Rich Gallup. Folks that know me because of my friendship with various people that have in the past or continue to work at Giant Bomb probably know Rich from his involvement in League of Heels and from being just a great dude that used to work for GameSpot many years ago, and is associated with all of those fine folks. Rich, buddy of mine, announced today that he has started his job as the director of production for Jackbox, which is a fantastic fit. That is a great fit for him. That is a smart move for them. Rich has worked in the mobile space a lot. He did unfortunately work for he worked for a company that still owes the state of Rhode Island a lot of money. He was part of the Kingdom of Amalur team, but he has a lot of experience with that, and that is a fantastic spot for him to be in with Jackbox, and I look forward to seeing what they do. According to his Twitter, replies to other people, he is not currently in the process of moving to Chicago, so it looks like he can do it from home, which is great, because that's where his family is, and he's got kids that are young enough that moving is not necessarily what you want to do. So sounds like he will, have to go out there for things, but he doesn't have to move there, which is great. And if you don't know Rich, just know that if you like Jackbox party packs, they're going to, I can't say they're going to get funnier because that's not his job, but I will say that the company as a whole will go through an improvement because they got Rich Gallup on their team. And Rich Gallup is great. Also good for Rich is he's finally, again, at a company where he does not have to be the performer. Because Rich has been like the guy that will like be the MC for things or like will like do the funny presentation to like lighten the whatever, the mood. And he won't have to do that at Jackbox, I assume. Maybe he still will because he is a good master of ceremonies, but you won't have to worry about that. It also might mean that I get to see him at a convention in the future. Not that I'm necessarily going to them, but maybe I will. And it'll be more likely that I'll see him at a convention because they would want to send Rich to go and have meetings with people and do all that other stuff. I can't say for sure he's doing that, but he would have more of a reason to go to like PAX East if his, coworkers were going to be there doing various Jackbox things. So yeah, very happy for Rich because he's a great dude. And I want him working in the industry and happy. So yeah. Now, what does this mean for me? It does mean that in a couple weeks, I am going to DM him to see if I could get on a list to receive the next Jackbox game. Because Rich and I are friends enough and that I do not feel uncomfortable asking for that. Or at the very least be like, hey, Rich, if that's not something you can do, point me at the person that, if you wouldn't mind, pointing me at the person that I should reach out for that. Because I have never reached out for a Jackbox code in the past, and we usually stream Jackbox quite a bit on stream, and of course, every new one. So I don't feel weird about that. Also, never in my life have I asked Rich for a favor before. So Rich Gallup, not that he owes me one, but he's never owed, I've never owed him one, so why not? The worst that could happen is that he's like, oh, really, Pat? But whatever. He's working for a company that makes games that I want to play. Finally. So we're working on the arm here. I believe the right arm that we're putting together here. So we're going to drop from A to D. Put this back over here. There's not a lot to this kit. It's just a weird shape. And it's got some, I would describe this as some small pieces for a high grade, 144. Still pretty small little pieces on here. Not the biggest kit in the world. Gundam Age, kind of small anyway. Not that I'm super familiar with it, but I do like, the thing I will give Gundam Age is, all its mobile suit, like the non-Gundams, all look pretty fucking rad. So, props to them. Putting out some rad mobile suits on this one. Not giving it just all to the Gundams. Other things we can talk about here. Well, we're talking about video games, so I guess we can get into E3. Basically, Reed decided to leak their own internal, like, hey, here's what's going on with E3. Because they were sending stuff to the games industry. And basically, Reed is now partnering with E3 to run E3, or the ESA to run E3, if you didn't hear that before. And they're going to do an in-person event next year. And they're going to start telling people what's up. People like that work for studios, probably talking to press, because they want it to be a big show. They want it to be a big thing. And also, one of the things that ReedPop owns is GameIndustry.biz, which is weird. It's not I would say that it's an odd thing that they do that, but they do own that. So they basically were like, hey, I guess we'll just leak it ourselves because people are going to report on this because we're reaching out. and there's going to be a story. So we might as well just tell you what's going on, which I think is fair and also smart because they're now the story. It's not like it wasn't Jeff Grubb being like, "Hey, here's what's going on with E3." It was like, "Hey, check out GameIndustry.biz's article about what's coming up for E3." I think that's fairly smart of them and not surprising considering what's up. But basically, they're like, "Hey, there's going to be more, but this is just like some of the shit we're talking about," because of course they would say that. Why would they not say that? They gots to say that. They gotta say, "Hey, this is just like what we're brainstorming, but also please don't think that we don't want to give you cool shit." It's going to be Tuesday, June 13th through Friday, June 16th at the Los Angeles Convention Center. It is both the business and also a consumer show. It is Gamescom or TGS. It is not full packs. Hey, we got another raid. Bonbon's just raided with a party of 9. Welcome, raiders. Hi, everybody. Wow, 2 raids in one night. How lovely. Hi, I'm Pat Baer. I build model kits, working on the Zedas high grade from Gundam Age, the 2011 high grade that we're building. And we just started talking about the announced plans for next year's return to in-person event, E3. So we'll get back into that. But yeah, welcome Raiders. We barely talked about it, but basically E3's coming back. ESA partnered with Reed, the people that put on New York Comic Con and every PAX and like a bunch of other events. They're the people that put on a bunch of different shows. They've got other comic shows across the country, but you probably know them best if you follow game stuff as, "Oh, these are the people that make all the PAXs happen." And they're working on E3, which makes sense. That, if you're going to have a physical E3, I guess. And also they've been trying to add in consumer stuff, and it was bad. E3 was bad because they're just like nothing to do. They're going to have stuff to do. So the first 2 days, the 13th and 14th, are going to be just biz dev. Just like people from like corporate at Best Buy and games industry people and USA Today. Like, it's just going to be that shit for the first 2 days. And then the second 2 days... Right? Yes. The third day is business and consumer, and the fourth day is just consumer. Now, that seems bad in my opinion, because it feels like that is a strain on companies, right? Because some people are like, wait. Are you expecting every like developer and company to have 2 booths? Because that seems ridiculous that they would have like, because it's going to be in 2 locations. It's not like, hey, this is E3, and then the last 2 days we just opened the floodgates. No, they're like, no, we got like the main show floor is the consumer side, and we'll have like panels and events and other stuff, and like a theater, and then the other days like stuff is going to be in this other area. So basically, they're like, yeah, we're going to like just chill. Now, there was like a pre-E3 thing that happened, or a GDC thing that happened that was kind of like their test bed, which is just like, for the biz dev people, there isn't a booth. You don't have to worry about booths. You're just going to have like setups, and you're going to have like an opportunity to like get that stuff together and do all of that and like be like relaxed and not feel like you have to put on a big show to wow people. You do that for the E3 component, the like consumer facing component. That's the thing where you're like fucking going for it, and you're like really trying to like get all the photos and get the video of the booth and do the giveaways and all that, which I think is smart. Because the idea of like, I would say it probably makes more sense to just have like it be the whole event, and then there are days where consumers can come instead of like 2 locations. But I don't know exactly what I'm talking about. I don't run conventions. clearly some people put a lot of thought and energy into this. So good on them for figuring that shit out, I guess. But I don't know. Now, it was very interesting to see people talking about being psyched for E3, getting all excited about E3, and then also so much of my feed for the past couple of days on Twitter has been people talking about getting COVID, or their friends getting COVID, or their family members getting COVID, or their office getting COVID. I would say I know at least 10 people that are either recovering from COVID or just got it on the other side of it. And it's very interesting to like have those two things be juxtaposed, to be like, oh, people are psyched about E3 next year. June 13th can't come soon enough. And then other people being like, well, working from home for the next, whatever, few weeks, and the kids are going to grandma's because I got the COVID. It's just like, oofed. Oofta doofta. Rough thinking about it. As always, I hope that my friends are okay. And I also hope that strangers are okay, because I can wish them well as well. But yeah, it's rough. It's rough out there. No ill side effects for me about my booster. I got boosted and feeling good. Never had any issues. I would say, actually, the first booster, because, my 2 shots, no problem. The first booster I did have some swelling around the incision point, and that was annoying. And it kind of hurt a little bit. But that's the only time I've had any ill effect when it comes to that. So, was not expecting it. But you never know. But yeah, let's see. Consumer show, one half of it. Because basically they're going to do half and half. But basically they're like, we want to make it quiet where you can like hang out and stuff and like get a coffee. And I think that's kind of neat. And they're going to get, they're just going to like treat it like the business shit. And then the E3 part is going to be more like a Gamescom or a Tokyo Game Show kind of thing. And maybe people will fucking love it. I don't know. But I do feel weird about it. Bon Bombs says the boosters were rough for me. Oh, well, yeah, I understand. I know that, for some people it was every shot was bad. And for other people it was just the boosters. Like I said, I didn't, I felt very lucky. Ooh, is this not B4? No, that's B4 and B8. So I have both pieces right here. Why does one of these feel wrong? But yeah, I had no ill effects from it, which I'm very glad to say that my boosters were good. And as far as conventions go, right now I have a few days left to submit for PAX Unplugged. Submissions are due the end of this month. I have not submitted any panels. I am waiting to hear about if an opportunity exists for me to have some help getting to PAX. If I do not have help getting to PAX, then I will not be attending PAX because I cannot afford both a hotel or Airbnb accommodations and a flight. I cannot swing both those things. This year has been not the best in terms of savings for Pat Baer. So basically he's like, no, I can't do that. But if assistance comes in for either one, then I will go and do a couple panels and see some friends and hopefully have a great time. But right now, not saying... right now, it does not look like that is a sure thing. Which, it happens. All right, we did all this. We're going to do some of these things together because we can use them in the other arms. So we're just going to do them 2 at a time. We got 2 different hands we're building. But here's the thing. We're going to build both sets of hands. We're using the ones that are yellow, or that are like gold yellow and look rad. I mean, both of them look rad. But we're going to use the open palms that have like... This kit's weapons are in its hands. And that's silly in a way that I can really get behind. So we'll be mostly building the cool hand version rather than the not cool hand version. Let's see. I think the booster was bad last time I took it, but only caused because I hit both booster and flu shot. Yes, the double wombo apparently hits people really hard. I have not had the double wombo. I have done the flu shot and the booster separately. And that apparently, feels like the easier way to go. But also you can get things done both ways, so why not? This last booster was basically fine for me. There was some soreness a bit, and that was it. Yeah, I had a little soreness at the injection point, but that was it for me. So that was good. Okay, so we need A17 and then a 1. So yeah, we're building both sets of hands because they're identical, even though we haven't built the other arm. Let's go over there. So that's 1. So yeah, we got 2 different sets of hands here. We're going to build both sets, but we're definitely going to use the ones that have beam weapons in them eventually, because that is clearly the superior hand. The hand that's just like, I got a laser right here. Boom. Dustin. Hey, Dustin says, I did the double, and soreness was the only side effect. Also, hi, Bat. Hi to you. Yeah. I have not done the double, so in my situation, because I am not insured at the moment, I go with a family member to Costco and pay $21 for my flu shot because my folks are Costco members, which is great. And then I get my boosters and of course my regular COVID shots. We just ended up at Walgreens because that's where we're getting appointments easy. But if I got my flu shot at Walgreens, I would have to pay way more than $21 for it. I don't actually know how much it is, but I know it's more than 21, and so that's no. That's a no for me. That's a no for me, Doc. But I am going to Costco soon to get that done because it's important. And also, I don't want to get the flu. Both my folks got their flu shot, and I'm happy for them. All right, yeah, we're going to hit this really lightly with some black. We're not have to go too heavy on it. As again, this hands that we're building right now, these are closed fists. We're not going to use these. Why would we use these? They're not as cool as the other ones. So, what are we doing? Okay, so I think that's about it for E3. There's a meeting. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's where we're going. Sounds pretty cool. Okay, so I want to ask y'all an opinion. Now, there's some people here that are not normally here on streams. That's totally cool. I hope you can also give your opinion on this. A new thing is sweeping Patreon. A new option for people. Now, it's been in beta, and some people had it before, but now most people that have a Patreon have this option they can go in, which is, and it will not affect you if you are already a patron. This will not change it. But I can turn on a thing that will make it so that the day you join my Patreon is the day you get billed on my Patreon. Right now, and for the future, on the 1st, everyone gets billed. So if you join my Patreon today, you would pay $1, $3, $5, or $10. And then on the 1st of October, you would pay $1, $3, $5, or $10. Again, and you're basically paying for that month no matter when you sign up, which is not the best method. Now, for me, your friend Pat, having that charge come in and getting all the money at once is way better than sporadically people being charged and me paying the processing fees on that money and taking money out all the time. So I would still just take out probably on the 1st of the month once the majority of money comes through, because I have a Patreon that has existed for so long. Again, if people joined on the 15th 3 months ago, they're still on the 1st as being billed. It only is going forward once I make the change. So I am certainly, I like the once a month myself. I kind of wish Twitch did that too. So yeah, so Aristophan, as a person that constantly wants to make the minimum for a payout here on Twitch. I wish that every first subscribers got charged in the first of the month and not every 30 days, because first of all, every 30 days sucks because it means it always changes when your renew comes in. It makes 30 and 31 days of the month and 27, 28 weird, and I don't like that. And so I like the first of the month being billed. But I do understand that you get paid monthly. So there you go, Restore. I do understand that for some people, if they hear about my Patreon and they're like, "Oh, Pat could use some," yeah. Oh, you get like a thing, and you get this, or you get stuff early. Oh, that's kind of fun. Okay, yeah, I could see myself getting involved in that, Pat. Okay, well, it's the 17th of the month. Am I going to subscribe for like half a month? Oh, I'll just do it on the first, and then you don't do it on the first. So it probably makes sense for me to enable this, because that was the big thing. I was like, are you going to like fuck with my money? And it doesn't seem like Patreon is going to fuck with my money any more than they already fuck with my money, which is to say that sometimes I can't withdraw money through the web, and I have to use my phone, not through the Wi-Fi, but just through like my data plan to take money out. Sometimes the website just doesn't work. Sometimes there are just some months where it doesn't work right, and it's a weird thing. So it sounds like they're not going to fuck with my money on this right now. And if they're not going to fuck with my money, and it could mean that somebody who comes and watches the stream and then hears me talk about my Patreon on, tomorrow on the 25th of the month might go, or the 27th, I should say. Tomorrow's the 27th. Might go, yeah, all right, I'll get on that. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's interesting. I don't know if that's... So I think I'm going to do it, but I did want to, talk about it on stream. Because I was afraid they were going to change some shit around. Because the big thing is just that money... Now, you're saying, well, Pat, the money you get from Patreon goes to buying model kits and equipment, right? And that's true. It does go into a fund to do that. But there are times where I borrow against it. There are times where I use that Patreon money to pay my phone bill. And I write down how much of that Patreon money I took out to pay my phone bill, knowing that I'm getting paid from another job in 4 days, and that money goes back into the fund and is earmarked. All of the money that people give me through Patreon, through Twitch, through YouTube, all that stuff, all goes into me buying model kits. But I don't have a separate bank account for that shit. I don't have a business account. But I have very good records of it. So having it all in one lump, and then also paying the processing fees, I'm probably going to end up doing that. Like what I do right now, when people join in on the 10th, that money just sits in the account until the next time I withdraw a massive amount of money. Now, I will probably change that if I'm suddenly getting upswing in people joining Patreon, and I'm like, well, I've got $75 waiting for me. I could just take that out now. So I might end up doing more withdrawals more often, but I won't be doing constant, somebody signed up for $3, better withdraw this $3. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so I did want to mention it in chat if people were just like, oh, Pat, this seems bad. Or, well, I had to pay, I ended up paying $5 for 6 days and then I paid for the whole amount. I understand if people are mad about that. The big thing that I want to stress is if you are a patron, it does not do it. Everything is cool. You will still be charged on the first. This is just for future people. In the same way that I can still have a $1 tier, which they don't let you do anymore. I think there's $2 or $3 is the minimum. I can't remember, but $1 tiers is no longer a thing unless you are grandfathered in like I am. And if I change something around, I would lose it. There's a thing. So I made sure. Are you gonna fucking take that shit away from me? I'm gonna have to, because there are some people that give me $1 a month that probably don't want to give me $3 a month. And the fact to give me $1 a month is fantastic, and I'm very grateful. But I also don't want to lose that dollar because they're like, $3 or whatever, which is understandable. And also, as always, friends, if you are someone that supports me on Patreon or Twitch here and you're done, you feel like you're done, that's also okay. It's always okay. Bounce. There are people who feel very comfortable here, and that is exactly the goal that I'm going for. I am trying to be a cool place where people can hang out and talk about stuff that they're interested in, and hear about stuff they might be interested in, or just like have a voice that they appreciate or like or feel soothed by. That is the goal that I'm going for. But I also understand if you're just like, I kind of want to watch football tonight, or I don't know, it's a Saturday, I kind of don't feel like watching Pat build, or like, I don't know if I like this kit that he's working on. Like, that's totally okay. Have fun. Do your own thing. I want to make sure that people know that that's fucking cool. That if you want to like peace out for a night, you can always peace out. If you're just like, I don't really like. There are people who don't like the Lego builds. It just doesn't do anything for them. Part of building is that they're living vicariously through me and the model kits that I purchase and build. Or they just don't have time to build model kits anymore. But Lego has never done it for them, so they're just like, meh. And I get that. I'm going to use my jeweler tweezers here because getting these little weapons in there is not working well. So I'm going to pull out the tweezers, and we're going to see if this will work. These are jeweler tweezers. If you haven't seen these before, me use them. Instead of pushing them to keep it together, you push to separate it. And these are very great now. There are certain plastics that if you do that with them, the pressure will be too much and it will shoot out and it will fly away, which certainly could happen here. But it is great. These are great for applying stickers, water slide decals, because you don't have to keep constant pressure on them and then fuck up. There's no pressure on here. The tool is doing the work. So I really like these. And it's going to go like that. Okay. Dustin says, that's something I'm wondering about. You're spending 8 hours or so streaming a week. So to me, it would seem fair to count some portion of that as personal income. It's cool that you put it back in the channel, but I wouldn't begrudge a streamer taking some of the results. Oh, Dustin, believe me, I would love it if Pat Baer's, if you build with Baer, I almost said Pat Baer's anime club there. I would love it if the Build with Baer workshop was a job where I didn't, at the end of all of this, lose a little bit of money every month. It would be great if that was the case. It is not the case. I lose a little bit of money every month. One of the reasons why I want to hit 40 subscribers a month is to make it easier for me to get that payout every month from Twitch so that I can continue to buy model kits. Now, if I stopped buying model kits today, and all I built was what I have left here, which is, I think, 10 kits. I want to say 10 model kits and a Lego set is in my backlog right now. I have like 10. I have one real grade, one Lego set, and probably like 8 or 9 high grades. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high grades. I have 5 more high grades coming that I have pre-ordered. If I stopped there, I would have a profit for a few months before I completely and totally ran out of model kits, right? So at a certain point, there exists a world where building 3 times a week and then once a week buying video games, playing video games, I should say, there is a point at somewhere along the line where I will build enough of an audience that I won't lose a little bit of money every month, or there are some months where I make a little bit of money on this, right? And it does go back into the business. That's why you need, yes, Lord Crashington. Now, if I had a full-time job instead of many small, like contract gigs, if I wasn't so underemployed right now, and I had a full-time job, then, well, one, I would probably stream 1 day less a week. I would probably get rid of the bonus streams and maybe do the bonus stream once a month instead of every week. But I would still probably do 6 hours of model kit building a week, which is what I do right now. And I would probably stop doing the 1.5 to 2 hours a week of something else and just do it like I would do Pat Bear's Anime Club live once every 3 months, and that would probably be it. And then maybe I would play like the new Jackbox every year. It's fun. And, bonus watch-alongs now and again, but it wouldn't be every week that I would be doing this kind of bonus stream, which I love, but like I said, wouldn't be doing it every week. But right now, as this is a major element of it pretty much keeps itself running. That's the thing, right? Because it would be nice if I could experiment more, right? I could buy more expensive kits, right? Like the master grade that I built, which is back there of the heavy arms, was like a lot of money. That heavy arms was a lot of money. And thank God y'all are here to help with that, because otherwise I would not have purchased that kit because it was a lot of money. But I've always wanted to build that kit. It has been one of my white whales, was that fucking kit. And I built that kit. And I'm so psyched that I built that kit. And it was the most expensive single purchase I've made for a model kit this year. And that's incredible that was something that I was able to do. That also limited a little bit more of what I can buy this year on my own. And of course, I am supplemented by y'all. This kit was bought off my wish list. I didn't buy this kit. So I'm grateful for that support that comes in that way. But yeah, it's like, this is I've said this before, I will say it again. This stream is an excuse to talk about stuff I want to talk about and build model kits, and also not lose my goddamn mind because I don't have that many creative outlets. And I would lose it. Also, I have a schedule, and that is very important to me, considering that all of my actual income, my actual factual income, is all contract work, and I'm at the mercy of other people, and none of it is set schedules that I can like fully 100% depend on. It is all nonsense that I'm just like kind of waiting and hoping works out. So, it's nice to have this shit where I could be like, oh no, I'm doing this now. All right, let's get this polycap in. We finished an arm. We are using the cool weapon here, because of course we are, the one with the hand with a gun, the cool hand. We're not going to use these other hands. We just put them aside. But yeah, that's the situation I'm in right now. I still. Somebody asked about this, but like, Pat, you haven't made partner yet, which is such a small percentage of Twitch. It makes sense I haven't made partner, in my opinion. But like, are you still doing this? The answer is like, I'm going to give you the answer that is going to be one of my Q&A answers. Yeah, I'm still want to do this because I really like it. But like, I don't know, if I got a really high paying, very stressful, cool ass, creative, fulfilling job, then I'm not going to play video games on stream anymore, right? I still build model kits and enjoy it, but like, no, I'd probably cut that shit out. I wouldn't stream 4 times a week if I had like a job that was creative, fulfilling, and fun and cool. I would just do this less, but I would still do it because I do really like it. And also, this, as I said, this is I schedule 6 hours a week that I build model kits. That rules. I love that for me. Okay, so now's the part of the stream. We're going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways you can support what I do here. I've kind of talked about it a bit, but I'm going to keep talking about it. If you're new to the stream, this is just like 5 minutes of me promoting myself because I don't have any sponsors or anything, so I'm just promoting me as a person. And then we'll get back into, we're going to talk about some manga and some anime because that's what we do around here. I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can apply with those emotes. Also the Tier 2 blue emote. If you're not a subscriber, this, honestly, right now is legitimately the best time to become a subscriber because it's September. So for the rest of this month, You're saving money. Aristofan also just saved some money. Aristofan just gifted 2 subs in the community to Ghost Rogue and Ironhide the Fourth. Ironhide will love that when they come in to do a pun. So let's hit the applause there. But also, Aristofan just fucking saved money because from today until the 30th, gifted subs are on a discount as well. The beginning of September up until now, they didn't do that shit. They added that shit in for the last few days, which means not enough people were doing the promotion. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but I know they extended it. So now you could gift somebody, do a gift sub to somebody in the community and say you would save money. You could become a subscriber and save money. You could always use your Prime Gaming token if you Amazon Prime link with your Twitch. You may have forgotten you have that. You may have forgotten that you haven't given that to somebody in a while. It would be great to give it to me. There are other ways to support what I do here, which financially, I should say. Also, hit the follow button if you haven't already. Hit that follow button, you know when I'm going live, hit the notifications. So you know, because I do model kit build quite a bit, and we hang out and talk. But I mentioned this before, I have a Patreon. And maybe today is the worst day to do it, because as of, like, probably tomorrow, you could just join and it'll be fine and you won't get charged again. But I do have a Patreon. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. And I just want to throw this out there. If you only want like 3 emails from me a month, like here's my schedule, 4. Here's my schedule. Here's my schedule in the middle of the month. Here's, hey, send me questions. Here's the Q&A video. $1 patrons get 4 like messages a month. If that's all you want, but you want to give me more than $1, you can give me more money and pick the $1 tier. You can like make sure you only get that, but then give me $6 a month. You could just do that. I don't harp on Patreon that much, but like it is the best percentage of anything that I get. But I like to see the numbers go up on Twitch, and I have minimums, and there's no minimum of the number of support that I get on Patreon. So hey, help me out wherever you can. Get some cool emotes. Don't see ads here on Twitch. It benefits you. I think you get more of a better deal out of Twitch. I get a better deal out of Patreon, but it's all good. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBaer. I post a lot of videos up there, and there is years and years of content on Pat Baer's YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. So join that if you'd like. And if you wanted to support me there monthly, you can be a member there. Join up, $2 a month. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So that means tomorrow you get a video. It's a fun one about a topic that I knew a lot about before I even read the Wikipedia page, because it's the first thing that I will be talking about on Do You Remembaer that I'm involved with. It's weird to say that 9 months into this project, I'm like, oh, I guess I'll talk about something that I am deeply involved with. Also, one-time donations. If monthly does not work for you, but you were like, I can throw Pat a couple dollars. What's your PayPal, Pat? There are ways to support me through Coffee, PayPal, and Stream Elements. And everything I make through those direct donations through YouTube, including AdSense, so watching my videos helps me if you don't have your ad blocker on. Patreon and Twitch all goes into a fund, and I take money out of that and I buy model kits. Now, the Zedas that we're talking about here, this kit right here, that doesn't come from that. That was bought on my Amazon wish list. Someone who was asked to remain anonymous, because the messages said anonymous. I don't know who sent it. Bought this on my wish list, which we'll check out right now. And I shot a YouTube video where I was like, hey, check out this kit that came in the mail, which I do for anything that's bought off the wish list. Oh, what do we got going on here? We got a new follow. Thank you very much, Rook MK2. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. Thanks for jumping in there with the follow. On this wish list, I have Lego sets. I have model kits, inexpensive kits, very expensive kits. The rule of thumb on this one is if you buy something on that wish list, it jumps the queue. It becomes the next thing I build, because the least I can do is build the thing you bought, because my backlog is pretty deep right now. And like if you bought me the Farsay Gundam from Gundam Age, or Farsay mobile suit from Gundam Age, which is somewhat like this, but it's like pink and purple. It's very similar to this. but it's like a little magical girly, and it's very cool, and it's got it's got a cool stand. If you bought that, I'm gonna build that next because it's fucking dope looking. Actually, yeah, this kit is in the background of that shot. So, and it's got a cool, like, very unique stand to it. And it has a sword instead of the guns coming out of its hand. It's a big sword. I would build that kit happily, but I would do it before I did anything else. That would be a weird thing to buy because I just am doing a kit for Gundam Age, but you get what I'm saying. My alternative to my Amazon wish list is my Throne wish list. It's a more curated list, but Throne is a great little company that I am happy to support. And you can buy something from there. And then also, look, this is just like, if you don't want to deal with Amazon, you don't know what to buy me, you could just buy me a gift card. Just go to USA Gundam Store. You got to have an account there. You buy a gift card. They send you a code in your email with that. And then you DM me on Twitter, send me a whisper here on Twitch, send me that gift card code. I'll use it and I'll buy something from USA Gundam Store because there's always stuff to fucking buy. Fortunately / unfortunately, there's always more mobile suits or equipment that I have to purchase. Just gonna quickly check this right here. Got going on here. Oh, that's really nice. Oh, that's Bone. That's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing that you're working. I'm going to put a link into chat of the project that you worked on. This is beautiful Lego. God, that's gorgeous. Sorry. We paused the cause so that I can put a link into chat of this absolutely beautiful Lego set that Bond put together. Copy link to tweet. Paste link in the chat. There we go. Take a look at that link. That's just goddamn beautiful. Yeah. It's so lovely. It's like wonderful looking vegetation. That's very cool. And thank you again for the raid. All right. I have we're going to get through this real quick so that we can talk and hang out and I can get back to model kit building, which is essentially what I'm here for. So I have a Discord. Joining my Discord is free. I put up a new video that you should check out, Pat Baer's Anime Club. It was recorded live this past Tuesday, so just about a week ago. I recorded here on Twitch. I talked about all of the anime that I watched in the summer season, and I previewed the new fall season. And we're going to talk about the first show that I've watched from the fall season tonight. It's an isekai, if you can believe it. Of course you can believe that. But I gave a preview of what I'm excited about, talked about the previous season and what I liked from there. And then Do You Remembaer is my ongoing video series where every week I read a Wikipedia article and then I talk about the thing that I read. And this, hastily prepared, this one was about the song September by Earth, Wind, and Fire. Because that came out, this video came out last Wednesday, where of course it was the 21st of September, and it was made sense for me to talk about the song. And also, of course, the series is called Do You Remembaer, and the first lyric of that song is Do You Remember? So there you go. So I had to give it to him. All right, and we're going to talk about, let's start with some manhwa. We're going to talk about 2 manhwa, and then we'll jump into talking about some anime after that. Of course, manhwa is South Korean comics. I talk about manga and South Korean comics, the manhwa, every Monday. It just so happened this time it was both from South Korea. So it's not really Manga Monday. It's actually manhwa Monday. Before we get into that, I need to drink a little water, and we will dramatically transition back to the overhead and get back into the building and start working on the other arm right now. Okay. Let's talk about some manhwa. We're going to talk about Champion's Path to Murim and Helmut. Now, Murim, the one of the Korean tropes, just one of them. There are many tropes in South Korean comics. One of them is a fascination with um, Chinese mythology about a time of martial arts and magical abilities and um, the demon like the demon tribes and all these other things, and it's just an age of cool martial art dudes doing cool martial arts and learning the ways and opening their paths and all this stuff. And for some reason, it's fascinating to people writing comics to just go and do all of these stories and go and tell in the world, right? There is a lot of manhwa about a dude from our world regressing or transporting to that and waking up in the Murim world. And sometimes it's about them coming back to the real world or the Earth world in the future. Sometimes it's them being trapped there. So there are a couple that are like, oh, I was playing a video game and now I'm just there. This particular story that I'm talking about right now is about somebody that died. The champion died and then was reborn as a young child in Murim. And that person was an undefeated MMA fighter who died because his body gave out because he trained so hard in MMA that he couldn't fight in MMA anymore. And then he had to die. And now he's in a world of fantastical martial arts and cool moves and channeling your energy to make, and poisons and swords. And that's it. That's it. That's the plot. You might have picked up from my tone that this is not particularly a great manhwa, and it isn't. I read this mostly out of like morbid curiosity of like, is that it? Is it just the idea that someone who is very good at mixed martial arts would do well against like orthodox fighters? Like people that are like, you have to train in like certain styles and like you want to fight from a distance and like whatever. And they would like not know what to do with someone that knew like capoeira or like submission holds or knew how to like judo throw people. And that they would just be like, stunned and defeated? And the answer to that is that's what this is. Now, does he learn some techniques? Of course he does. He learned some fighting techniques. He's got some mystical martial arts stuff that he's like picking up along the way. Of course, he's also a natural at it. And he does like run into some people that are very strong and he's like not super prepared for that kind of fight because he's not used to it. But he adapts really goddamn well. And it would be a great short story or like a one-off, like a one-shot. But for a whole series, I'm like, nah, dude, I want to see the opposite. Honestly, that's what I want to see. I want to see what about somebody that like trained in Murim and like maybe they're from Earth, they go to Murim, they come back to Earth, and now they're fighting in MMA, right? I want to see that. I want to see somebody who has like internal energy that can like, you punched him in the chest, but it didn't hurt because of his like, he's like, he just shrugs it off. And then he's just like, what does that guy do in mixed martial arts where he's like fighting against different art styles and like doesn't quite understand why this kickboxer, like, what's this kickboxer's deal? Why doesn't he like use a sword? That kind of thing. I think I want to see the opposite. Then I trained in mixed martial arts and now I'm going to go fucking hang out and like defeat like the orthodox tribes of and like or the faction and then like the righteous. I'm gonna go defeat everyone in the righteous faction because I'm fucking good at martial arts, mixed martial arts. To say, and they don't know, they can't see it coming. And I'm just like that. Android 17 does MMA, says Lashbrook. Yes, all the androids have mixed martial arts training. They don't need it because they can also shoot beams out of their hands. But like, yes, they do have some of that, and 17 does do some of it. Yeah. It's just like, it's not what I wanted. I don't need somebody that was like, oh, I have like endurance training. I'm gonna run around. Again, I did probably go into this with a little bit of a like, yeah, we'll see. So maybe I should have been more open minded. I look when I'm reading shit, I try to be open minded about a lot of different things. I try to read stuff that I'm like, I bet this doesn't seem like something that I would be into, and I'll give it a go. Uh, like there's an isekai about a yakuza boss that is just like a young lady, and it's not a great isekai, but like I don't know, that's kind of fun. And also there are monsters. There are so many fucking monsters, and also in that particular isekai, humanity is the biggest monster because of course they are. But I was like, yeah, all right, I kind of like that idea. I think that's fun. Like a blonde girl that is on the inside is a yakuza boss. Like, sure, I'll watch that. I'll read that, I should say. So like, I don't hate some of these stories. Like I should say, Helmut. He's another. It's another South Korean story. This is just a fantasy world, King Arthur kind of thing with adventurers and all that. A premise that is fucking very interesting on this one at least, and so I was thrilled to be checking this out because it does have, in my opinion, a very strange premise, which is there's this like land out there, this like demon-filled land, filled with demonic beasts. It's called the Demonic Beast Forest, right? And they're like, well, we put a barrier up in this place. I don't know. I kind of like the premise of Karate Baka Isekai, which is about a karate guy who gets sent. This is from Dirty. Hey, Dirty. Who gets sent to another world, but yeah, refuses the god of the gifts and just goes kick butt in the fantasy world. So here's the thing. I love that part of it is because he's an idiot. That he's like, no, my karate rules. I'm going to go and do this thing. And he also does, like, he is in some ways a little bit powered up. Like, he says no. So it is enjoyable. But I think one of the reasons why it's enjoyable is because he's, like, just a dumb goof. Which I think is more fun than, in this case, which was Champion's Path to Murim, where he's, like, he just feels superior and like he has a superiority complex in a way that I don't enjoy, and I guess that's what it is. I just don't like his vibe, and I don't like the idea that it's presenting. But I don't dislike Karate Baka. Now, Helmut is okay. So there's demonic beast forest, right? They put up a barrier. They're like, we can't do anything about these demonic beasts, and then somebody at some point, we don't know who, the head of this country, was like, well, every once in a while, these people are born with demonic hearts. They have this, like, thing that's supposed to just be in monsters, and it happens in humans. Well, we should just put those people in there, because they're definitely evil, right? So we'll do that. So our main dude here, Helmut, he is sacrificed, he's sent to the demonic forest. And the idea is they're like, look, if anybody ever survives the demonic forest and they make it out of there, then of course we would welcome them. Of course, no one's ever done that, and probably they actually wouldn't recommend them. They would think they're a monster. But like, whatever. That's a nice thing to say, that they have a heart and a soul and they're looking out for people, even though it's very clear they don't. So our dude, Helmut, survives. He's got this heart that we learn later should take over for him and turn him into a monster. It doesn't. He lives with some demonic beasts, including this cool, like, tiger guy that kind of raises him. They can talk to him. And then he meets the sword saint, Darien, who is just there to, like, train and hang out. Clearly there's some shit that happened with Darien that we don't really get into. And he's, like, the first human he meets, and he trains him, and he learns, like, sword fighting for him, because he's, like, learned how to fight as, like, a beast, but he's not learned to fight like the world of man. And he learns, like, some things about what's going on with the world, and why he ended up there as a child and all that. Like, and eventually he's like, yeah, you want to go out there and, like, be in it. What you want to do is you want to become a mercenary, because that way you travel around and you get money and you can live. and go do it. Um, and the first, I've gotten to the point now where there was the first chapter, and then they flash back to all of that, and then they get back to the present. And the first chapter is him just being like, Darren, you lied to me. This isn't exciting at all. Everyone's really weak. Because the thing is, our dude, Helmut, doesn't really know how to, like, the way of the world as far as, like, what people's going on. Like, he didn't know about witches and stuff. And he's not, like, savvy about the world, but he understands survival. And also, he has so far not encountered anyone that can give him any trouble at all. Now, will that change because some of the people he just murdered are part of a crew that are hunting him down? Sure. He might meet someone that gives him a little bit of a challenge, but so far that has not happened. So if you like stories about a dude that, like, we skip over the parts where he's really struggling and get to the parts where he's just kicking ass pretty fast, and it's pretty fucking good. Because he meets some nice humans. He does meet some nice people that go out of their way to be good to him. And he's very happy about that. But then he also meets people that are just looking to take advantage of him. And he basically responds with, like, hey, fuck off. What? Get out of here. Because he is incredibly talented and really strong and was trained to be awesome. So he's got good swordsmanship. He can move really well. He knows the world. Now, also, that heart freaks the fuck out when he kills humans because he hasn't really killed a lot of humans before because he only met so many of them. So now he's like, okay, what do I have to do to, like, make sure I don't lose control of myself as I'm, like, discovering what this world is like, and also keeping a secret where I'm from because he'd probably be hunted for that. So it's a good story. I'm looking forward to reading much more of it because I have been enjoying it quite a bit. That's Helmut. It is a cool tale so far, and feels pretty fucking original in a sea of things that are sometimes really fucking similar in the old in the old stories here. All right, so now it is time for anime talk. It's time to talk about some anime. This is the 12th and final episode of Parallel World Pharmacy. I do not think that this show will get a second season, even though there are more stories to tell. I appreciate that it did not end on a cliffhanger. It ended with a cool fight, which I thought was good, and I thought the animation looked pretty cool, and it's a good villain. It ended with, like, a very good villain. The manga continues. I might end up reading more of the manga in the future. I'm, like, way behind on it, but I might go back and check out more of it because I have liked what I have read. So I might go and investigate more. But right now, I just want to tell you a little bit about the last episode of Parallel Pharmacy. Now, we ended the previous episode with, hey, there's some shit happening here because, like this isn't just like a the Black Death has come, and they're like, this is not just a normal disease. This is not just it's spreading with the help of someone, and that someone is a character I did kind of forget about. A doctor that lost his mind and started doing tests on people and disregarding the safety of humanity so they can continue to support his nonsense research, named Camus. And Camus is like, he killed the king of the country that he was hiding out in and has been using them to take basically all of this, not just because of his evil science, it's also for revenge on them for imprisoning him because he does not feel like he did anything wrong. So of course he wants revenge on them for the imprisonment and the, and all of that. So he is doing a bunch of all this is just revenge bullshit. And they kind of figured that shit out. And they stopped the knights that have been attacking, but the infection is spreading. And then Pharma returns to the capital. Hey, we just got a new follow. Hello, friend. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. I hope you're doing well out there. I know you've been doing some kick-ass streams lately. I hope they've been going good. Some music streams. I hope they're going well. Why is this polycap? This polycap doesn't want to fit right, and that's frustrating to me. Um, anyway, Camus looks like the death itself, and there's a really fucking cool magic fight at the end of Parallel World Pharmacy. I'm talking pretty fucking cool magic fight between the embodiment of the devil and the human incarnation of the god of medicine, which is pretty heavy and pretty fucking cool. But that dude. Also, he gives a we're not so dissimilar, you and I, evil speech that's really just like, don't come on, you're not going to convince, like, we all know that you're not going to convince this only good person, the person that has never like once thought about not doing the right thing, that has like risked their own life and safety in order to help people. You're not going to convince this dude to like join you in hurting people and like doing terrible experiments to them. Like, come on. That's not going to work. And then with the demonic power destroyed, they have the time and energy to finally take care of all of the outbreak. And then we hear there is a I should also say that some people got stabbed but were healed. Some of his crew were stabbed, but they're all right. And then Pharma reopens Parallel World Pharmacy, and the festival happens, and then people are like, actually, we should really be using some of the methods that this guy Pharma has been really into. And again, if you haven't been following this, the name of the pharmacy opens is Parallel World Pharmacy, which is the name of the anime. They did the thing, which I don't have a problem with, because I think that's a funny choice. Because he says like, oh, this really is a Parallel World Pharmacy, huh? And they're like, that's a great name. Cool. And he's like, that's not what I didn't mean to name. Oh, no. I'm going to use my tool here to try to get this set. Can I get that? Yeah. All right. I got to make sure this polycap is in the right place when I put... popped out. All right. I'm going to use my tool here to hold this polycap in place. And then we will once again try to put this together. You may have noticed this problem did not arise with the other arm. I have no idea why this is giving me so much trouble, and the other arm gave me no trouble at all. But that is currently what we are dealing with. We're currently dealing with that. This thing is just being annoying. Let's try to do that. And then we will try one more time here. Because I do need to talk to you, friends, about... Anyway, Parallel Pharmacy. I thought it was great. I think the art was really nice. I love that it was all not computer generated. It was all digital. No CGI nonsense done by a different company to save time or money or whatever. It looked really nice. Good story. Again, I love that some of the characters, when confronted with the reality of how powerful he was, were scared shitless, because that does not happen in Isekai that often, where people are just like, hey, why are you so strong? I knew you a month ago and you are not like this. What's going on? So I like that, where there's some elements of people just being like, what's your fucking deal, kid? Why are you the strongest thing? Why are you a god now? Let's talk about the first new anime I'm watching of the season. That's right, it's finally time to talk about it. We gotta talk about I'm the Villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. That's right, it's an isekai. Of course it is. Of course, the first show of the new season that I would watch happens to be an isekai. Guess what? The second new show of the season I will be watching is also an isekai, or one of them, right? Because yes, I'll be watching Reincarnated as a Sword to talk about that on Thursday, and then this coming Saturday I will talk about the second episode of I'm a Villainess, because it comes out on Saturday, and this Saturday I'll also talk about Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out Season 2, which I might not talk about every week, but I will be watching every week because it is a very horny romance anime, romantic comedy show. But they are college students, not high school students, so it is refreshing to watch that. And also, I thought the first season was fun, so I'll watch the second season of that. No problem. That's all I have right now because this season is slowly trickling out. Like there's some early stuff, and then there'll be way more coming. But right now, there's not like a lot of stuff that's like immediately out. Okay, so people say, Chen. Okay, great. But yeah, so as we start, we put the hand together, the other arm together here, and as we get into working on, do we do this at the same time? Sorry, what are we building here? We just do 1 foot here. Looks like, yeah, we're just doing 1 foot and then the other foot. Okay, so we're going to start on 1 foot here. Got a lot of this done. Move on to 1 foot. And I will start talking to you about I'm the Villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. So we have Eileen. Eileen is here, and Eileen is finding out that her engagement to the Crown Prince, Cedric, is being called off, and that he is saying that he is in love with this girl, that she is, apparently Eileen is bullied. And Eileen's like, I have like deja vu right now. I've seen this before, right? And then it clicks into place. Hey, you know how sometimes you have these dreams where you're in a hospital bed in Japan and you play a video game on a Switch? If you want to date, hey, date this is the year 2022. She played in the hospital. She was playing a dating game, an Ultima game on a Switch. They don't call it a Switch, but that's definitely a Switch. Yeah, our girl was a sick Japanese girl that died, and then in this very moment realizes, oh, I was this person, and she has her memories as It's that weird thing where she has her memories of Eileen, and she feels like she's Eileen, but she does know that she's in a video game. So it's not like where she's just like, I can't believe I died as a kid. It's more like, oh, I have memories of being there, and also I know that this follows a plot. And I'm the Villainess in regalia of saints, demons, and maidens, I should say. We later find out, I'll just kind of go through. Basically, she's the Villainess. Her being cruel to this commoner opened the door for Cedric, the Crown Prince, to realize her feelings for this girl. And then the heroine eventually will defeat the final boss and save the world. The final boss is the Demon Lord, who turns into a dragon at one point because he hates humans so much. And in the bad ending, steps on and kills the Villainess, Eileen, just as like an aside, also Eileen died. And so our girl is like, oh, fuck. I can't end up that way. I need to defeat the Demon Lord. Here's the thing about it. Because it's a dating game, the Demon Lord is hot. He's half human, half demon. He's also the half-brother of Cedric, the prince. This is Claude, Lord Claude. So he's not the Crown Prince, even though he's older. He should be the Crown Prince. But because his mother was a demon, he can't be king of the humans. So he lives alone and has set up a place for demons to feel secure. And our girl isn't strong. She's she's the Villainess. She was supposed to be mean. She's smart and adept, but she's not a powerhouse. She's I can't defeat Claude, the Demon Lord. But here's her brilliant plan. I'll make him happy, because the idea is that he turned against humanity because he was so unhappy with what was going on there, that he eventually became the Demon Lord, or he became full-fledged demon dragon. But if he's happy and fulfilled in his marriage to Eileen, because Eileen goes to his castle and is like, hi, you may know me as your half-brother's former fiance. Marry me. And he's just like, no? What? Which is, I think, a valid response. He's also completely and utterly inept when it comes to the fact that a girl is being kind to him. A human girl is being nice to him. And he is just like, I don't know what you're doing here. I don't know what you want. What's this fucking deal with this? Let's see. We flash back. We see happier times with Cedric. We find out that Eileen, without this knowledge, her backstory of never being useful until he proposed to her, and then being like, maybe she was overzealous. Maybe people were jealous of her. Maybe she did rub people the wrong way. Maybe she was telling a commoner not to talk to the crown prince because she didn't want other people to bully this girl for not understanding social things. But it was meant as bullying. We won't really know. We do know that our character is a nice girl now, even if she wasn't. If she might have been misunderstood, but we know her as a nice girl. Anyway, he doesn't want to get married to her, and he doesn't trust her, but she's persistent. She comes back to be like, hey, what's up? Because she finds out that the crown prince and his new fiance are going to announce their engagement in 2 months. And they want Eileen to come to that so that she can sign the nullification papers, because she didn't break down when he broke off the engagement. She kind of kept her cool. And so they're like, oh, we'll do this. So it's supposed to be humiliating. She's like, I want to also announce, our engagement. So she's like, this is my goal. I want him to come to this banquet with me. That's what we're going to do. How does she go about that in the first episode? In this episode here? She's like, hey, apparently a Fenrir, a little fox wolf cub, has gone missing and is near the school. I know where the school is. You can't send demons out there. It's going to be a big thing. I'll go and collect this cub. And the cub eventually kind of warms up to her. She prevents some students from attacking this cub, and also prevents the mother of that cub from making a lot of noise and freaking people out and making an even bigger deal. And then she's willing to take the accusations because those fucking shitbags blamed her and tried to make it seem like she caused all these problems. She's just like, yeah, sure, whatever. But then our dude, the demon lord, Claude, shows up, and he's just like, you did this, and, kind of clears her name and then says, okay, why do you want to do this? What's happening right now? And she explains it. He doesn't believe her, because why would he? Why would he believe her? Anything she says in that instance. But he's like, all right, well, you're a good person, and I do owe you, so I will attend this ball with you. And that's how episode 1 ends. And I don't think she's going to be as clueless as some other, like Katrina, in some other, I'm supposed to be the villain, but I'm actually not the villain, or villainess. So I don't think she's going to be as naive, but there is a sense of her, there are parts of it where just oh, she had this grand plan, but no way to actually accomplish it, and it's kind of cute. And she also instantly thinks that Claude is hot, and I like that. The opening song for this new series is sung by the voice actress, and that was a bad choice because it's a lot of really fast singing, and it doesn't seem like singing is in her strong suit. And I can't tell if the song is supposed to be comedic or not. But if it's not supposed to be comedic, she's doing a bad job. If it is supposed to be comedic, I don't get it. Could be my thing. So maybe I'll learn to like the song. But I think right now, the song is the weakest part of this series, the opening track. and I'll probably get used to it. But so yeah, I would recommend I'm the Villainess, so I'm taming the final boss. If you like isekai, if you like dating game stuff, if you like the kind of like, there's going to be some action, but there's also going to be some romance, and this season doesn't have a lot of romance in it, and I think that some people don't want to watch Uzaki-chan wants to hang out, and I understand why. So this might be the romance show for you to check out. You know, like, is this going to be like the Saintus? No. But I thought it was pretty fucking good, and I enjoyed it. I think, like, it was a fine first episode. It was a good introduction. It comes out on Saturdays. It's on Crunchyroll. I watched it because I had some shows to finish up on Saturday, so I didn't watch it till today. But it'll be part of my Saturday rotation. As I said, I'll watch it with Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out so far, and probably other shows. So far, this is in the keep pile, because there are sometimes I watch the first episode of something new, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. And sometimes I end up like 3 or 4 or 5 episodes in before I'm like, no, I'm good. And there's sometimes where I don't watch it, and then people are like, this is the best show of the season. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to watch that show that people really like. But this is going to be a busy season because there's a lot of good shit. There'll be some stuff I don't watch weekly. I'll just watch like at my own pace. Like Overlord, I didn't talk about weekly, but I was watching, like, I'm going to watch the last episode of that when it comes out, I think tomorrow or Wednesday, can't remember, but like I'll finish that series up. But I didn't talk about that weekly. Like I won't talk about it on Thursday unless it's like really surprising, but I doubt it will be. All right, so I gotta put this. This is another poly. This kit has so many fucking polycaps, and we're gonna use a lot of them. That is, I would say, it does not have a lot of stickers, but it does have a lot of polycaps. It's 2011 this kit came out. It makes sense they would have so many polycaps, but I was a bit unprepared for that. But I knew I have my part separator tool, and it's very helpful for that. It's kind of weird to realize the new season is starting this weekend. So last week, as I said, technically the season started with I'm a Villainess. It came out on Saturday. It is part of the season, and it was the first episode of it. So technically, the season has already started because let me just go to Annie chart here and take a quick gander. Because we had Sunday. This was, yeah. So like Saturday, there were some shows. Sunday, there was nothing new that started on Sunday. But today was also like a wrap-up day. There was nothing new with Classroom and the Elite wrapped up today. Orient Part 2 wrapped up today. There's still some stuff that's wrapping up. But yeah, technically, like tomorrow, Overlord Season 4 wraps up. And then, like, really, we start getting on Wednesday. Wednesday, we get some new stuff coming in. Reincarnate as a Sword starts on Wednesday. So that's another new thing. That's the next new thing I'll be watching. And then Thursday, is there anything new on Thursday? Devil is a Part-Timer finishes up on Thursday. Call of the Night finishes up on Thursday. And then Friday, we have Master Has No Tail, which I won't be watching. That didn't seem good to me. If it turns out it's great, I'll get caught up on it. And then Saturday, we have My Hero Academia Season 6 starts. Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out Season 2 starts on Saturday. The next episode of Villainess. I should watch that on Saturday. Also Spy Family starts on... Jesus, Spy Family starts on Saturday as well? I've somehow gotten stronger when I improve my farm-related skills, and Spy Family Part 2 start on Saturday. Holy shit. Oh, god damn it. Pop Team Epic Season 2 starts on Saturday as well. Jesus. Why is every show I want to watch on Saturday? So some of my Saturday shows are going to become shows I talk about on Monday, because there are too fucking many shows that are coming out for me to watch all of them. Because right now, there are 5 shows for Saturday that I'll be watching. And none of them come out on Friday. They all come out on Saturday. My Hero Academia, I won't be watching weekly. That'll be one that I watch like whenever, because I'm I'm caught up, but like, it's all right. That is the one that I'll like wait and watch a few episodes in a row. But yeah, I've got 5 shows right now that I want to watch and talk about. That's too many shows. I mean, Pop Team Epic Season 2 is going to be hard to talk about because Pop Team Epic, I might not talk about that weekly. I'm going to watch it weekly, but I don't know if I'm going to talk about that weekly because that show on purpose doesn't make a lot of sense because it's a nonsense one. It's a wonderful nonsense show. So I will watch that, but I don't know if I'll be talking about it like every fucking day. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. Oh, it looks like the first episode is airing early in Japan. I also don't. Oh no, Crunchyroll is picking up. Okay, Crunchyroll is picking up Pop Team Epic Season 2. That makes a lot of sense. They should, right? I just realized new Chainsaw Man chapters and episodes come out on the same day. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's neat. I did not notice that myself. All right, we got a little bit of this leg done here, but we're going to wrap things up because we got the top done here. I believe that I will be finishing this kit up on Thursday because we just have, well, the legs and the waist and the side skirt, the backpack. I guess maybe we won't finish this up on Saturday, but I know what I'm building after that. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. People will be talking about. People have been pretty good about spoilers for Chainsaw Man, but it'll be interesting to see if like that flies out the window when more people are talking about it. I don't know. I don't know how that's going to go. But we did finish the top half of our kit here, which for some reason does not want to stand up. And we got a little bit of the leg done, which is cool. That is going to do it for our stream tonight. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream, every single week. We will find somebody cool doing some stuff out there that we want to go hang out with and send them some love. Also, because we got raided by 2 different fucking people tonight, we got to send the love out and raid as well. Since we did receive such kindness, we must return said kindness. So let's see here who we got going on here. Let's see who is streaming right now. Who's doing stuff on Twitch that we want to go hang out with, and who will be doing it for a while. I mean, it's Monday, so we can always raid Mary because Mary Kish rules, and we like Mary's chat. Mary's playing. Hey, sometimes Mary plays horror stuff, and I'm like, yikes, no thanks. But Mary is playing Slime Rancher 2, and that is not horror. So we're going to go raid Mary because Slime Rancher is fun. That'll be a fun to go hang out in her stream and see that. All right, so let's get that ready. We've got to hit the buttons here so we can go do that. She's still playing a game about creepy holes. Well, you know. It'll still be fine. No matter what she's doing, it'll be okay. So hit the follow button or hit the raid button there. We are going to go raid. Thank you all so much for being here. The stream tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, playing Pokemon Platinum Randomizer, picking up where I left off, which I can't remember where that was, so please come and discover with me, because I don't remember. I hope you had a great time tonight. I had fun. Thanks for everybody that hung out. If you're new or returning, thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next stream. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.